Okay. Thank you all so much for coming. My name is Dr. Robin Searles-Adenegan, and I am the Program Director for Biological Sciences, Biotechnology, and Laboratory Management at UMGC. Joining me is Wyatt Unger, who is the an education coordinator. He's actually an education coordinator for Montgomery College, but he's also a community college transfer specialist at UMGC. And then also on the line, I've got the people who work with me at UMGC, my team, Kim Hill, Dina Britt, Patricia Marner-Hughes, Rue Searles-Adenegan, and Wolfgang Ruff is also here. So if you come to UMGC, if you have questions, you'll get to talk to any one of us.
My project.
What is it?
So, and if you can mute yourself.
I made a little sheep head.
Well, can you mute yourself? So that, welcome and thank you so much for attending. So I just want to start off by, again, first of all, making sure everybody mutes themselves. Thank you. And just let you know what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to give you some information about UMGC, the overview of the biotech and lab management programs, which are the programs you'll probably be interested in. UMGC's transfer process, which go over very quickly. The required courses that you would have to take when you come to UMGC for both of the programs. Talk a little bit about the graduate program that we have here, and then just the application process if you're interested. And then we'll end with questions. If at any time you have a question, you can either type it in the chat or unmute yourself and just let me know that you have a question, or let Wyatt know that you have a question. So all of you who probably live in Maryland are very familiar with the commercials because they're all over all the time. But sometimes the commercials don't always tell you about, the history of UMGC and what makes us really special. So UMGC, we've been around for a long time, since the 1940s, primarily for military students. We are part of the University of Maryland System Schools. We are one of the 12 degree granting institutions. We are the largest of those 12 degree granting institutions in that we enroll more than 85,000 students worldwide across 3 divisions. We have a stateside division, which is based out of Maryland, but we have classes all across the country. We have a European division that is based out of Germany, and they have classes on military bases throughout Europe. And then we have an Asian division, which is based out of Japan, and they have classes in Japan, Guam, Korea. So we are all over. We have more than 90,000 undergraduate and graduate degree programs. So there are a lot of courses we offer and a lot of programs that could be of interest to you. Since you guys are primarily biotechnology students at Montgomery or at Frederick, I just want to focus on the biotech and laboratory management programs that we offer. So UMGC has an articulation agreement with both of your schools. So if you decide to come here, the courses that you have already taken at either Montgomery or Frederick will automatically transfer to UMGC. If you're interested in our biotech or lab management programs, both programs to get your bachelor's degree require 120 credits. So if you finish your program at either Montgomery or Frederick, more than likely you're going to have at least 60 credits. So it'll be about 60 credits or less that you'll have to take at UMGC. For these 2 programs, both will require transfer credits because these are transfer degree programs where you take your science courses with labs at your community college home institution. Then you come to UMGC to take your residency credits, which are going to be in the major. And then you'll do a 6-credit biotechnology or laboratory management related internship, which is over 15 weeks. And once you complete those degree requirements, you can either get the BS degree or the BTPS degree. And the BTPS degree, a lot of people don't know what that is. It was something that that is a type of degree that employers recognize as students having specific technical skills. So it's called the Bachelor's in Technical and Professional Studies. So you can either get you can either get the BTPS or the BS. And the BTPS, it's only offered at through schools that were in Maryland that have demonstrated that their students have an AAS degree, and Associates in Applied Science. So if you just have an associate's degree in either the biotech or any other science related, like a biology, then you would come in with the BS. But if you have the applied science degree, you can get the BTPS. But overall, the two degrees are pretty much the same. So, you know, when you looked on paper, both are transfer degrees, both are 120 credits, both require you to take core courses when you get to UMGC. So I want to make sure that everybody understands the basic differences between the biotechnology and the laboratory management degree. First thing I want to point out about the laboratory management degree and the laboratory management program, you're being trained to have a good understanding of both laboratory techniques and management techniques, whereas the biotechnology degree is specifically the science. So if you pursue the biotech degree, more than likely you want to be at the bench, whereas with the laboratory management degree, you could be at the bench, but you could also pursue areas where you are more management and overseeing the lab. So the key difference is when you transfer to UMGC will be the transfer courses that you have to bring in and the major courses that you would take when you get here. For the transfer courses, if you come in and you want to be a biotechnology major, you're going to have to take the microbiology class. So it's a 4-credit microbiology with lab, genetics with lab, and then you'll have to take several biotechniques courses. Both of your institutions offer those biotechniques courses, like the introductory to biotechnology, some of the bioprocessing courses that you may have. So you'll need 7 credits of that, and then you'll need 17 credits of other science courses. And they'll come in as elective courses. For the laboratory management degree, because you may not want to focus so much on bench work in the laboratory, you don't have the same strict requirements as far as what you can bring in. You can bring in almost any science course. If you wanted to bring in chemistry or physics, as opposed to a microbiology or genetics, we will accept that. Then you'll have to take 14 additional science credits, again, lecture and lab credits. And then for the major courses, the students who come in and major in biotechnology, you'll have 5 science courses that you'll have to take. Whereas if you come in and you want to be a laboratory management major, there'll be 3 science courses and 2 business finance courses that you will take. So that's the key difference between the 2 majors again. So you would need to focus on or think about what it is you want to do or what you're planning to do, okay, in your career. If you want to, again, focus strictly on bench work, the biotech option may be better for you. If you're not sure, you want to either do bench work or pursue some type of management, the laboratory management degree might be better for you. So how do you get to us from where you are now? Wyatt is going to cover that information for you right now.
Hi, everyone. So thank you so much for attending, first of all. We know that this is after hours for a lot of you, so we do really appreciate it. So once again, my name is Wyatt Unger. I am the education coordinator with the school, which essentially is a big fancy title for I'm a transfer specialist. So my whole job is to be able to help students to be able to transfer over to our school with their college credits, but also I'm an expert when it comes to one of our scholarships. So if you are interested in the school, you want to learn more about it, I'm a great person to be able to help you out with all of that aspect of it. So if we could advance to one more.
Want to go to the next one?
Yep. So one of the big questions that I get all the time is why would someone choose UMGC? You know, there's a lot of really great schools that are here in the system of Maryland that we have. You know, there's UMES, there's Towson, Frostburg, all of those. So what makes us unique as a school as far as transfer? Well, we're actually the #1 transfer choice. And this is because we make things so incredibly easy. You know, at our school, I know that sometimes students get kind of stressed out about like, well, what are the admissions requirements and how do I get in? And, you know, what kind of math is required and things like that. And Robin had just spoke about how all of the courses are going to be transferring over. But the nice thing is that these aren't direct admissions requirements. So what that means is you can join our school and still you go, oh, this is a lab I need. I didn't realize it. You can always go back to that community college and take it. And in fact, to build off of something that Robin said earlier, we can accept up to 70 credits from a Maryland community college. So even if you've already gotten your associate's degree and it turns out you need to pick up an additional lab or something like that, you still have the space to potentially be able to pick that up. We're actually the #1 provider of scholarships as well. We offer a tremendous amount of scholarships. And one of those is called the completion scholarship. I'm going to get into a little bit, which we would actually have it so that you would reduce your tuition rate so that it would only cost you about $12,000 total to be able to earn a degree with us. We also have a very flexible schedule. All of our courses can be done 100% online. We only have 8-week-long courses, but yet 16-week-long terms. So that means a lot of modern students are doing 4 to 5 classes per term, and those are full time. But some of you may be working adults, you have kids or something like that. And in those situations, it might be more beneficial if you just focus on 2 classes at a time, maybe 3. Well, you can do that with us and do 2 for the first half, 2 for the second half, and then all of a sudden you're still on track. You're completing 4 courses over the course of a whole term, but you're only focusing on 2 at a time, which should make it so that you can do a little bit better in your courses while still being able to maintain that important job of your actual job or being a parent. But even if you're just somebody that is still going to college and maybe you like to have more concentrated classes, that's definitely a way to be able to do it. Now, the application that we have can be done rather quickly in about 15 minutes, and it can be done all online. And that's not even to mention the fact that we are a school that has gotten tremendous amount of awards for the work that we have done within our school. Next slide, please. So let's talk about the completion scholarship as a whole, right? Now, a lot of people wonder, how does it work? How do I earn it and all of that? Well, I'm happy to let you know that this is a non-competitive scholarship. So what that means is that we're actually going to work with you as much as we can to make sure you can earn this scholarship. And as a community college focused specialist, probably about 90 to 95% of all students I work with actually receive this scholarship because the criteria is very, very easy. Doesn't matter what your GPA is, doesn't matter what your demographic is or how much money you make. There's not a limited amount of slots. If everyone from your school graduated tomorrow and they all wanted to go to our school, they were all pursuing a degree, they all have an associate's degree, they all take at least 3 credits in fall and spring, and they're all Maryland residents, everyone would be able to receive this scholarship. And it would take our tuition rate, which is already one of the lowest at the universities in the state of Maryland. We're only about $312 per credit. We reduce that down to about $184 per credit. So that means you'd be able to complete your degree for just about $597 per class. When we look at the big picture of it, that means for $6,000 a year, you can attend our school. That is a tremendous savings. I mean, I graduated what, I don't even want to talk about it. 2012, like 13 years ago. And I graduated a while ago and I still owe about what, $13,000? And I'm paying it every single month. The fact that you would be starting at 12,000 is incredible. Like, we're really talking about you being able to do other cool things with that money instead of spending it on school, like get married or buy a house or a car, those things that are kind of awesome to have. And that way you can use it for that while still getting a high quality education from an award-winning school where you can learn from people like Robin that probably are going to know way more about biotechnology than I'm ever going to know. Which I bet Robin doesn't know this, but I have a health degree, so I know a little bit, but she knows way more than I do. But still, the amount of work that we're able to give you for such a low price, I think is absolutely invaluable. So how to get started with admissions. It's pretty easy to do. You want to fill out an application with our school. You can do that on our website very easily. And I can chat that. I'm going to put that in the chat just now. You can also send a copy of your unofficial transcript for a free evaluation of your credits, in which we articulate to so many classes that it actually astounds a lot of students. And you can always speak with me. That's the phone number where you can reach me. And I'm also going to list all my information in the chat. But the main part of this show is to be able to listen to Robin because she has some excellent information. Back to you, Robin.
Thank you. So what courses, once you apply and you get accepted and I don't know whether Wyatt mentioned this, but UMGC is also an open university. So there are no GREs for grad school or standardized exams like the SAT or ACT exams required. You need a high school diploma. And if you're coming in with your associate's degree, that's even better. So once you get to UMGC, you're going to be required to take certain courses. So you come in, you have your associate's degree, say you have 70 credits total that you're bringing in. That means you'll need 50 credits to take at UMGC. For the biotech major, for the laboratory management major, you're going to have core courses. For the biotech major, 5 of the core courses will be science courses. We'll start off with inquiries in biological sciences, which is it's an overview of all the biology courses or general biology you've taken already, and then you'll proceed through the remaining courses, and then you'll also take at the same time some of the elective courses that I'll show you on the next slide. If you're a laboratory management major, you'll take 3 science courses, and then you'll also take a management course and a finance course. And those courses will help you on the managerial side of the degree. Both degrees, you'll take a capstone course, which is right at the end of that should be your last, or you take that in the last 15 credits. It's a capstone course, which pretty much sums up the program. And also required for both programs is workplace learning. This is a 6-credit, 15-week in-person internship. What you have to set up, and then you go to the workplace and do, if you're doing a biotech internship, something related to hopefully what you want to do in your future. Oftentimes students for workplace learning, if they're working in the field already, can use their existing workplace. But the key thing about workplace learning is it has to be new learning. So it can't be your regular job. You'll have to come up with duties that are outside of your regular job. And we have a coordinator for the workplace learning program that can help you and walk you through the actual application process for workplace learning once you get to that stage. While you're taking your core courses, you'll also be taking your general education courses. A lot of you will be transferring those courses in already. So a total of 41 general education courses are needed. Again, some of them are coming from the courses that you take in as part of your associate's degree. Others you may have to take once you get to UMGC. But in reality, you could have all your general education courses already completed by the time you get to UMGC. You'll also need a total of 43 elective courses. Some will have to be upper level, some will have to be lower level, or a combination of the two. For the upper level courses, you'll need to take at least 15 upper level courses. Oftentimes, our students will take bioethics. They'll take epidemiology. We have health and human disease, biology of aging. It really is going to depend on what you're interested in. We have some students who are interested in, we have a gerontology program, so they're interested in biotech, like drug development for diseases of the aging. So they'll take, say, the biology of aging course. So we've got a lot of different courses that you could choose from. So, but a total of 15 credits must be upper level in that elective, and upper level is 300 level or greater. So you've taken all your courses, you're close to the end of your degree, and we want you to start thinking about other educational opportunities that you may pursue at UMGC. So I just want to touch bases with you really, or give you some information about our graduate program. Before I do, does anybody have any questions about the undergrad program and what's required? Yes.
Question.
Yes.
Is it possible to not be done with your associate's degree quite yet, but take courses at UMGC? Yes,
you can. What the best thing to do is you would meet with somebody like Wyatt, they would help you go over your transcript and have your transcript reviewed. And then you would have to get something called a PT, as a permission to take a course elsewhere, and you can take courses at both institutions. Anybody else? We make it very easy for you.
Yeah, and to elaborate on what Robin just said, she's exactly right. We make it as easy as possible, because we do understand that sometimes students are excited to do it, or sometimes they're in situations and they're like, oh, I need one class to graduate. What can I do? And with our 8-week-long courses, we make that easy. Or something comes up in their life where suddenly they need to take an online course or something like that. And we're going to work with your school to do that. So that way there's not stress about, well, is it going to work between both institutions? We work all of that out through something called a reverse transfer program. It's a great program where you can even use financial aid, because I know some students are concerned about how that works as well, and financial aid is still available.
Great question.
Hey, can I ask a question?
Yes.
FCC student here. So as the two degrees are very similar, the laboratory management and biotech.
Yes.
My question is, if throughout time, let's say I complete a biotech degree and then still decide to graduate, I guess, with a biotech degree, but then still decide to pursue the courses that are required for the other degree, could I have 2 degrees at some point?
Okay, so
The credits I owned.
So we do offer second bachelor's degree.
Hmm.
And those students who would like to pursue a second bachelor's degree, is actually, we've only had a few do it with biotech and laboratory management.
Mhm.
Because it's difficult to find, because you see that there's a lot of overlap between the two courses.
Yeah.
Or the two majors. So for those students, we had to work with our degree audit team, with the program, with the coordinators, to make sure that you had separate courses, because the courses can't count twice. So it takes a little bit longer to map out a pathway for you, but it is possible to get a second bachelor's degree in either biotech or lab management.
That's right. Okay. So
And then you would also have to complete 2 different workplace learnings.
yeah, and then the other question is more logistics. Is what is the software you guys use for the just general organizing for classes and scheduling and all that stuff? Because at FCC we use PeopleSoft and Blackboard.
Okay.
So I wonder what it is for UMGC.
We use PeopleSoft as well, and then we use Desire to Learn as our learning management system. Very similar to Blackboard.
Cool. All right. All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay, so just to give everybody a little bit of information about our graduate program in biotechnology, we offer 4 degree specializations. So again, depending on what you want to do once you finish school, we've got a specialization in bioinformatics, biosecurity, biodefense, biotechnology management, and regulatory affairs. And so depending on what your future goals are, you can pursue any of these degree specializations. If you're not sure, if you want to continue on after you get your degree, you could even think about a certificate in bioinformatics. So there are a lot of opportunities. We're also thinking about offering some micro-credentials, which are specialized course options that you can take to gain further knowledge in a particular area in biotechnology. Another thing that we're hoping to get started in spring 2023 is a vertical pathway program between the undergraduate biotech degree, biotech lab management degrees, and the biotech program. Is students who are interested in going from the bachelor's degree to the master's degree can take 2 biotech grad school courses at the undergraduate rate. And then that would decrease the amount of courses that they would need to take. And they can do that as undergraduates. So that would decrease the number of courses they would need to take once they get to grad school. So they'd be taking grad school courses as undergraduates. So those are options, and we're always trying to think about new things that we can do with our students, new specializations, new programs, new courses that we can offer. So as you're thinking about how you're going to proceed with your education, always keep in mind that we have this biotech bachelor's, biotech graduate program available to students as well. So again, we just want to go through with Wyatt, just try to think about how you can apply what you need to do. So Wyatt's going to finish up and talk about that application process. Does anybody have any questions before he starts?
So there's a bit of a chat discussion going on. The UMGC requirement is indeed genetics with a laboratory. However, Montgomery College does not offer genetics with a laboratory. The course is BIOL 222. We are, want to comment on it, Robin? It's okay, only for
Yes.
MSc students.
For Montgomery College students, we will accept the BIO 220. We are very well aware it's a recitation, and I know in that recitation, you guys, it's a really broad and comprehensive recitation course where they discuss a lot of techniques and things, so we will take it. Another option is we will also take molecular biology. I know at Frederick, the genetics course, the lab course is a focus more on, Punnett squares and that kind of thing, and not so much techniques. So we will take a 4-credit microbiology course in lieu of the genetics. But we just have to, when you try to transfer, it has to be communicated to the advisor, who will then communicate with me, and so that I can approve it.
Other questions? Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with how to apply and how to move forward. Now, once again, if you have more questions, you're absolutely welcome. If you have more questions, keep them coming. We can multitask as we do this. So once again, to get started with us, you're going to want to put it in an application. It can be done online. And once again, Robin talked about this earlier. We really do make it very, very easy. Don't worry in case you did bad on the ASAT or the SAT or any of those kinds of things. Trust me. I was concerned about that, but don't worry. We understand that sometimes that is not a good aptitude for how you do in school. So we don't really look at those kinds of things. And as for essays or letters of recommendation, also not a requirement for our school. It's literally just you'll go through the application, you'll answer a few questions, you'll need a state issued ID, and before you know it, in 10, 15 minutes, you're going to be done. And this can be done, once again, completely 100% online. You would then send a copy, and you can send it right to me. I've already put my email address in the chat. I'm going to do it once again. You would send over to cctransfer@umgc.edu. You would send over a copy of your unofficial transcripts, and I'm not going to be picky about this. This can be screenshots, it can be screen grabs, it can be pictures from your phone. I've gotten those before. The actual PDF is preferred but not required. As long as I can see the full document, your name, what courses you took, the name of the school, we should be good to go as far as that goes. And we'll create a document for you called a tentative evaluation, where we look at how your transfer credit may work with our school. This is a free process, and it's just to give you information to make sure you have what you need. And if not, you know what you're going to have to take at a community college. Because once again, talking about those lab sciences, you'll need to make sure that you have. And so we want to make sure you're on the right path by checking those. And that's the way that we do it. It's a free process, and we can have it done for you rather quickly. Most students have it in about 24 to 48 hours from our degree audit team. And also, I would love to have a conversation with you. So if you are interested in transferring, I really recommend speaking with me. That way you just know all the benefits of our school. We touch on some of them, but not all of them. Like, we have an amazing career development team that can help you to be able to find internships, be able to find jobs, work on resume skills, and that's available to you for a lifetime. That's not even to mention that you have incredible professors. So you're meeting one right now, but we have plenty of others as well. And I think some of them are also in the chat with us. So there's an incredible team of people that are all here to support you. I know that at this school, this is where my mom went, and she got a degree that really changed her life. And I know that she's not alone in that. I've seen us do absolutely incredible things for a lot of people. And if you're interested, please, I encourage you, you can take a photo of that QR code. My goodness, technology is cool. And it will send you right over to me, and then I can be able to help you out. I love what I do. And if you have any questions for me, please let myself or Robin know. You have an expert right here as far as the content knowledge, and you have an expert when it comes to the transferability of courses and how to be able to apply for our school. So without further ado, thank you so much for your attention and your time. What questions do you have?
Hello, this is Bezai Takal from MC Biotech major. I have a question about transferring that I'm concerned to internship requirement for transferring. Do I need to, having internship before I transfer to MGC, or I can, take it after like attending MGC?
The internship is, it must be taken at during your enrollment at UMGC. So even if you were to do an internship prior to UMGC, that would not count towards your degree. It is a degree requirement that is taken at UMGC. So no, you don't need it before you come.
Okay, thank you. That was my question.
You're welcome. Thank you. Any other questions? Lydia asked a question about the applied science. So yes, those are the courses, those are those lab courses that you're taking now at Montgomery College. So the intro to biotechnology that you're taking, that would be one of the applied science courses. I don't have the list in front of me, but I know that you guys, I was there back in December. I know that you offer a lot of biotech courses, and they would all be classified as the applied science courses that you would need to take.
Yeah, I'll just add to that. So for someone who's not a biotech major, you can transfer to UMGC if you're a biological sciences major, for example, but there is a requirement for biotech lab classes. At Montgomery College, the cell culture course, 2 credits of lecture, 1 credit of lab, that's a 3-credit course. At Montgomery College, the protein biotech course, 3 credits for lecture, 1 credit for lab, that's a 4-credit course. The minimum to transfer to UMGC Biotech is 7 credits of biotechnology with lab. So commonly at Montgomery College, that would be cell culture plus proteins with the labs. You could do it differently as well. Savita, maybe you want to say what the equivalent would be at Frederick?
Yeah, we have a cell culture class that has 4 credits. So that'll transfer. And then we have a biomanufacturing class that also is 4 credits. So we have a lot of lab classes with 4 credits that'll transfer. So the only question is that your science classes are all 3 credits, right? The way the transfer works. So
yes.
do you give us any extra, our students any extra credits because they are doing labs with all classes and ours are 4 credit classes? How does that transfer?
So those courses will probably come in as electives. Those extra science courses will come in as electives. And then that would get them to the 70 that they could transfer in. So that would just get them, that would probably mean they would have less credits to take when they got here. Because it'll be they'll need somewhere between 50 to 60 credits when they get here.
But what happens to 3 versus 4, right? Like our courses are 4 credits, your courses are 3 credits. So when the 4 credits transfer, how does that work? Will it be 3 to 3 or 4 to 3? And because our degree has 60 credits total, but most of them are 4 credit classes.
So they'll come in as the 4 credits that they've earned at Frederick. And so we have some 1 credit. So then again, those are going to the electives. So remember I said that there'll be some upper level electives that they'll need to take. If they have those credits that are 4 credits and say instead of needing 3, they need only 2 because they've taken a 4-credit course, then they could potentially take a 1-credit upper level science course to get to that number that they need. Does that make sense? Okay. Yeah, well, yeah, we work it out. We make sure that those 4 credits that you earned at your home institution carry over here.
Okay.
Megan has a question I kind of want to field. So Megan's question is, my question is, once the semester starts the year and you enroll, oh my goodness, that's my coworker, so sorry. He's new here. So sorry. But if you commute to campus, do you have to be half or a full-time student? So That's a really good question. Usually students are just asking this in regard to financial aid purposes, but I'm going to answer it in both ways. So at our school, if it's easier for you due to your life circumstances, just do one class at a time, that's totally fine. You can absolutely do that. You do not need to be a full-time student to be able to graduate or to go through our program. It really is on your pace. And at the same time, if you want to go to school and take 6 classes at a time, that's an awful lot, but you can do that and you'll just go through school a little bit quicker. For financial aid purposes, you only need to be about half time, which means 6 credits in total. That means if you're just doing one class at a time, one for the first 8 weeks, one for the last 8 weeks of the same term, you are still meeting financial aid. So you technically don't need to be a full-time student to get that benefit, which helps a lot of students just because people are working and people have life events happening. But to answer your question, you do not need to be a full-time student, even if you are taking our hybrid courses or if you're doing online. It is really just an option that you have to be able to go through your courses. So this leads to the next question with Lauren, which is that her question is, with the 8 weeks, with the 8 week long session, how many classes are required at a time? So once again, kind of going over that before. And so there is not a requirement. So if something happens in your life and you need to take the whole term off, that's completely understandable. You can do that. For courses in the undergraduate school, we're not as concerned about courses expiring or things like that. When we get to the master's level, that's when there's like a time limit associated with things. But for the most part, school is going to fit into your life and we're going to make sure that it does. We're for some non-traditional students, people that are working, older adults, people in the military, in short, people that have other stuff going on. And so we understand. So we don't have a requirement of like, sorry, you're not taking 5 classes at a time. You're no longer a UMGC material. That's not what's going to happen with us. We are here to better you, and everyone has different life circumstances, and we understand that. Hours for a class, you're looking at about between 9 to 11 hours of class work each week per class. So for instance, if you're taking 2 of Robin's classes, then you're probably going to be looking at anywhere between about like 18 to 22 hours of work per week in those classes. But if you're only doing 1, you're looking between 9 to 11. And keep in mind, most of our students do 2 classes at a time. They do 2 for the first half, 2 for the second half. Robin, do you find those numbers to be accurate?
That's about right. Yes. Most people are taking two classes in the first term, 2 classes in the third term, so that there's no overlap between the sessions in a semester. So yes.
Yeah, great.
Robin, could you comment on your course delivery method? Because one of the questions about commuting to campus.
So most of our courses are online. We do offer some classes in hybrid format where you would go once a week to a particular location. The locations are usually around the DMV area, but we do offer classes all over the country. I'm offering a class in Hawaii. I wish I could teach, but I don't live there and the university is not willing to pay for me to go. But we offer classes all over. We do offer a class at Shady Grove, like the required Biology 325 is going to be offered at Shady Grove in the fall. So we do offer some classes at Shady Grove, but the majority of our classes, all the courses for the major are offered fully online. The only one that you'll have to go into would be the internship, which you usually take somewhere between your last 15 credits at UMGC. Classes are asynchronous as well. So there is no Monday, Wednesday, Friday. If you register for a fully online class, you have 1 week to get your work done. Now, some instructors may have a due date that's midweek, and our classes our weeks go from Wednesday to Tuesday to allow students to do the extra work on the weekends and get additional help, say on that Monday or Tuesday. So our school week goes from Wednesday, classes start on Wednesday, and the week ends on Tuesday. And so, again, you log in with this fully online class. If you're taking a hybrid class, there may be a 1 day a week designated that you have to go to, again, to that meeting location, but everything else is fully online and is asynchronous.
And to piggyback off of what Robin was talking about, I do know that Shady Grove is a unique location where it is going to appear a little bit more like a community college. You have like a really great environment. You have a lot of other students from a lot of different campuses that are there and a lot of different USM schools. And we do offer the biotech courses there. We don't offer every single major, but it is one of the majors that is available. And it's a fantastic site there. And I would encourage you to speak with Jen. That's one of the transfer advisors that's there. She's amazing. You can talk to her about it. I can also talk to you about what they offer to be able to help you out. And the cool thing is Shady Grove offers unique scholarships as well. So it's possible that you can have the completion scholarship and then get a unique scholarship through Shady Grove. We were actually talking about how many opportunities there are. So you're going from, you know, an amazing selection of scholarships to even more because you're a Shady Grove student. And the other thing is, Rob was talking about how our classes are asynchronous. So really you can log in whenever you would like. I had a friend that was going to school that was working at classes at 2 o'clock in the morning because he had an unusual work schedule. And that's what some people do. There's not a set time and you can log on a myriad of devices. So that means, heaven forbid, your computer shuts down and you're worried about how am I going to get this paper done? It's due, or I have this assignment. You can literally do everything from your smartphone if need be. Now, please do not write a whole essay on that. That would be awful with autocorrect alone. But it's nice to know that you have that option that's there in case you need it.
And yes, we do have summer classes. We offer classes fall, spring, and summer. The only class that's not available in the biotech or lab management program is the capstone course. It's not available in the summer. It's only available fall and spring. But other than that, every other course is offered fully online, fall, spring, and summer.
Do you have a J term?
What?
J term, like in the winter? January?
No, we don't offer a winter term, no.
So how long does it typically take for the student to finish those 60 credits that they have to do with you? The fastest?
A lot of students can finish in about 1.5 to 2 years, depending on how they move through the program.
Okay. But if it's just 2 credits, 4 credits if they're taking 6 credit, right? If they're taking 2 classes per semester, but they have to reach 60, right?
Right.
So when I was saying that, that was an example for the minimum requirements for financial aid. You can take up to 18 credits. So I do apologize if I made that part confusing. Yeah, because that would not add up. Absolutely.
Right.
But yeah, flexibility is something that we work very, very hard on. And Robin is absolutely right that you could finish in 1.5 to 2 years very, very easily.
Yeah, and if I can comment on, so many of the Montgomery College biotech graduates who get a full-time job and become UMGC students. I describe it as chipping away at the requirements, but I think many of them are taking 1 course per, I'm going to say it wrong, session, 6 courses a year, moving through the program. In general, telling me they actually prefer your course delivery system to Blackboard. Once they learn how to use it, and completing their degree. And the other benefit of being a full-time biotech employee is that your employer is probably paying the tuition at that point. If you know that you have whatever, some really hard workload for the next 1.5 months, well, you don't take a course that session. Am I saying it wrong? That 8-week period.
Yeah, that term, yeah.
And then on the other hand, you want to take 2 courses, 1 8-week period, you do it. And as I said, I hear from students and overwhelmingly, they absolutely love the flexibility and they also prefer your online delivery system to Blackboard.
Yeah, it's pretty intuitive. It's pretty easy to learn.
What about one of our students told us that there's an exam that you have to take before you can qualify to
So within the major, there in that biology 325 course, there's an exam called the Majors Competency Exam that biotech and laboratory management students must pass in order to pass the class. It is based on general biology. So if a student is strong in general biology, most students really do well on the exam. It just goes over core concepts. And if a student doesn't do well, there are 3 opportunities during that 8-week period for them to take the exam. So you can take it all 3 times. You can take it once, you can take it, twice. It's up to you. So the exam is offered in week 2, week 4, and week 6 of the class. And it's fully online. Students log in. They have to request the exam. They log in, they take the exam. They're given their score right away. And they know, okay, as long as they get a 70 on it, they're fine. If they don't get the 70, the instructor will notify them. They can schedule the exam again. Like I said, they have 3 opportunities to take the exam during the semester.
So this exam is in the beginning when they transfer.
So Biology 325, the inquiries in biology class, is usually one of the first courses that the student will take. So it doesn't have to be the first course, but it usually is taken within the first, say, 6 to 12 credits. So yes, it's one of the early courses that they will take.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And like I said, most students do very well on the exam. We just want to test their knowledge of general biological concepts before they start taking the other courses within the major, because those courses don't have a prerequisite. And so we just want to make sure that the biotech and laboratory management students understand the concepts before they get in, say the cell and molecular class or the bioinformatics class, that they have a good handle on general biology. And if they don't, there's additional materials in the class to help them study and review.
Anything else? So one of my students said that she had like a credit that she had to pay, and then what happens to that? Can you still apply and transfer it to UMGC?
She has a credit at Frederick.
No, at UMGC.
Okay, she should still be able to apply. Wyatt, do you know?
Yeah, can I get some clarification on the situation that's happening? So they took 1 credit with UMGC already, or they have only 1 credit with the community college?
No. She started the class, but I guess didn't finish it.
Okay.
But she still owed the tuition.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh.
okay. Yeah.
Right.
So generally in that situation, anytime you owe money to a school still, generally what happens is they hold back official transcripts, and you have a certain amount of time before you have to turn in those official transcripts to be able to take courses. But technically you can take courses before that period of time. You get like a 2-term amount of time to be able to submit those. So it should technically be fine for them to be able to do that. But at the same time, if they're still taking classes, if they're still in the process and they're still in that class, technically they could be doing the reverse transfer program at that point. So that shouldn't be an issue. It's when it's been years since they have gone to school and they just haven't paid and the application's been in for a while. That's when you run into issues with that. But generally we account for those kinds of things and understand that things happen, and we're going to work with you the best that we can.
So what does
Great
that mean?
question.
You have to still pay the tuition that you owe, or it's just like it's an old thing, or how does that work?
We're talking about from the community college, you have to pay the tuition?
No, to your college, to UMGC.
So you would have to pay the tuition
And
that
okay.
that we have, if you took the class or if you're going to. I promise you guys, they are fine. They're playing. I don't know why they want to play next to me, but they do. But yes, I mean, if you are taking those courses, you do need to pay for the tuition. And the biggest thing is going to be holding back those official transcripts.
Thank you.
Oh, yes. And another thing that we wanted to mention, Lori, thank you so much for the reminder, because it's very true. We do waive application fees for community college students. So if that's the last institution that you attended, then we'll actually waive the $50 application fee. And it doesn't matter if you went to school years and years ago, even though I don't think that's the case for any of you, but even if it is, we'll still waive that application fee as long as it's the last school that you attended. And we do that once we receive those official transcripts. That's how we know. We go, okay, that's verified. You did go to that school, and we will waive those for you.
Thank you so very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Informative. I forgot some of the things that I was so sure I remembered. Thank you. I learned stuff.
Well, good. I'm glad. And if you guys, anybody has any questions, you have Wyatt's contact information. My contact information, I'll make sure to provide it to Lori, and to Savita, so that everybody can, if you need to reach out to me, you can as well.
Yes,
Thank
it was an
you all so
absolute
much.
pleasure to meet all of you and to speak with all of you. You know, we have some fantastic professors here, and I don't think that I'm alone in saying that it's an honor to have her speak and be able to meet with you. And this is what you can expect at our school. You know, having professors that really, really care, and the ones that have a tremendous amount of knowledge, just like Robin, to be able to share that with you. I know for me, when I was going to school, that was a huge difference. The high quality of professors and ones that really care, much like the professors that you have right now that are helping us put on this presentation. So, you know, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure. I look forward to speaking with you.
And again, if you have any questions, I work with a wonderful team. There are 5 of us all together, so you can always feel free to reach out to the department. We're here to help.